Good morning, Delaware. Happy Friday. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Molly Meyers, LaBadie, this morning. Good morning.
Happy Friday, Nicole. We're at the end of a week.
We are. It has been a week indeed.
It's been a week.
Good morning, Gage.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Friday.
Thank you for running our board. Thank you for all that you do. Wonderful, wonderful. WDLR, my 96.7. Great people.
Great people.
Great people.
Great people.
Yeah, no, it has been a week. We've had a really big week at the Delaware County District Library.
Yes, I may be slow to the uptake. I'm a little tired.
That's all right. That's all right.
Hey, me too. I had a hard time getting up this morning.
Yes.
You ain't the only one.
Oh, yeah.
We had 2 semis and a box truck come to the Liberty Branch Library, this branch, delivering 63 pallets of
63
books.
pallets of books.
Yes, and stacked on top of each of those pallets was probably another, at least, 24 boxes, 20-ish boxes. It was a sight to see. If you want to see us, librarians, just looking awesome, go to our Instagram. There is a time-lapse video that my wonderful communications specialist, Hannah, put together of, one of the pallets coming in.
Yeah.
It was it's like ants, flocking to that, ice cream pile that has, fallen on the hot summer sidewalk. It's as soon as one of the pallets came in, we had Julie with the box cutter, and she was getting all the saran wrap off, and we had all the people there with their carts ready to get the books on them. And then we had Kyle saying, okay, this is a pallet that's all going to juvenile nonfiction. And so we just were like,
boom, 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 boom.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And it went that fast.
It really did.
We actually got ourselves way ahead of schedule on that. We had a worst case scenario plan, and it went best case scenario with unpacking.
Right.
I mean, I am thrilled. We have some hard working librarians.
So many able-bodied people helping out.
Yes.
And that's one of the things, just many hands make light work. I wasn't even sore. I was like, how about that? Lifting with my legs, doing things. Are you thinking I wasn't doing enough?
No, you weren't sore?
No, I am actually not. I don't know why.
I am 100% sore. They put a weight belt on me yesterday before I was allowed to go upstairs and start moving more boxes.
I am just appreciative that the way that our book buyer, where we get our books from, the way that they pack the books, the box could hold, 100 books, and it could weigh 100 pounds.
Oh, yes.
But thank God they don't pack it that way.
No. About 25 to 50 pounds, though, per box.
Right.
And there were some, I love that the really heavy ones had this heavy sticker on it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Molly, lift with the legs. Lift with the legs.
So how many books total are we talking here?
Oh,
Over 40,000, but I think it's about 44,000 books.
Oh, my goodness.
44,000 books were delivered.
Wow.
Yeah.
To one branch.
To one branch.
Yep. And those empty shelves are starting to have some books on them. It's so exciting. Every one of them is clean and shiny and new.
Yes. And so if you missed our big announcement last week, Brian Howard, our director, joined us, and he talked about how our grand opening is going to take place on Sunday, March 26th at the Liberty Branch Library.
I am so excited. Please come see us. Please come see us.
It's Holman Stites Roads in the Powell, Liberty Township area. And it's just going to be really amazing.
And if you want to find Nicole or I, just close your eyes and follow the sounds of the voices you hear on the radio.
Yeah, you will, because we're not quiet no matter where we are.
I really try, but I fail a lot at that. You learn from failure.
It is
I'm going to call that a win.
It is true. So, but what we're going to do today, as we always do, is we're going to talk a little bit about books in the first half of the show. Second half, we're going to come back to talk to my dear friend, Traci Whittaker, who is the Public Information Officer for the Delaware Public Health District. And we're going to talk about some partnerships in a class that we have coming up that you won't want to miss if you are a new mother. And so, stay tuned for Traci in the second half of the show. But Molly, what are you reading?
I'm really excited about this one because I woke up this morning and felt like I've been letting our listeners down.
Never.
So,
no.
During coffee time with my cat, which is my daily activity, I get up in time to sit with my cat and have coffee. Right. She does not drink coffee, if anybody's wondering, but one day we'll see. And I quickly went on to Libby, and I was like, what's a 1 or a 2 hour book? There's got to be 1 or 2 hour books. And I found a 2 hour book. I am almost finished with it, so I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it is darling. It is the perfect book for this season. It's called 84 Charring Cross Road. The author is Helen Hanff, and it's a nonfiction book that covers 20 years of Helen writing letters to a bookstore in London to order books, and the relationship that she ends up making from 1950 to 1970 with the bookstore staff.
Yeah.
And so each letter it starts talking about books, and she sucked me in because they sent her, I think it was the Church of England's version of the Bible. And though she's Jewish, she has read many versions and really liked the poetry in it. Mm-hmm. And she was complaining about how they just ruined the flow and the poetry of so many of the things, not to mention not talking about the Latin. And then she starts talking. She orders all sorts of books. She was so happy with the binding on Pride and Prejudice. And in the beginning, you think it's just this relationship back and forth about books, but then they start to learn about each other's lives. She starts sending them care packages. Mm-hmm. They start sending her care packages. Aww. The friendship just sort of grows, and it's one of those, do you need a book about just
books,
beautiful things? And it's real. Like, we forget what that letter writing feeling felt like. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's got me dying to write a letter to a few of my friends right now, just to feel that again. Right. And it's lovely. I haven't read a book that there is no negative drama. Well, she's having to buy an apartment because they were going to renovate and she got kicked out of her apartment, but she's making enough money to sort of upgrade her life and buy furniture now. Mm-hmm. So, like, these little things happening that I'm like, go, Helen, because I've been watching you try to get published, and I've been watching you try to write for TV shows, and things are going well for you. And
so she not only is, like, talking to this, it's a bookstore, right?
Yes.
So she's not only talking to this bookstore, but she's also, like, just giving little tidbits of her life and things that are happening.
And their life, the 84-year-old woman who embroidered her, I think it was a handkerchief, you know, it's these sweet little moments, because when she sends she was 75 in the beginning of the book, when she sends her first care package, he comes in with the salami and I think can of tongues, which I was fascinated we would ever send.
Interesting.
From America, but I guess that was a thing. And the look of delight on her face, if only I could package that to send back to you. I mean, It's just that kind of like feeling as you go.
Yeah.
So I highly suggest, again, it is 84 Charring Cross Road by Helen Hanff. Highly suggest, if you just want a feel-good, warm 2-hour listen, or really, get some tea and crumpets and get the book.
Oh.
Or download the Libby book and just get lost for a couple hours. Especially, we're getting cold again, I think, and then we'll get hot again, and it's going to get cold again, and then it's going to
just go back.
It's going to
blink
on those cold days.
Blink,
grab this one and some tea and some cookies.
Yeah. I remember back last spring when we had the virtual author visit from Sarah Anisha Adams. She is a British author, and she kind of shared with, was it Sarah Anisha Adams, or was it, it was the other British author that we had. And so, but we did a little package with tea and baked goods, and it was a scone and all of the other delicious things that go with that, and it came from Beehive Bakery in downtown
Beehive
Powell. And oh my goodness, was it delicious.
I have yet to be disappointed. No. We have so many good bakeries and restaurants.
Yes,
we are lucky.
Downtown Delaware has wonderful ones too, all over the place. Well, I have a list, and so I wanted to share that if you ever go to the Delaware County District Library's website, delawarelibrary.org, at the very top is our search bar that takes you to our catalog. If you go to that search bar and you click, and you don't type in anything, and you just click the search button, that takes you to like our landing page for our catalog. And on our landing page for our catalog, there are lists that staff have put together, staff from DCDL and staff from Columbus Metropolitan Library, because we both share that same system where our catalog is. And so there are some really excellent lists that our librarians put together. If you go there now, you're going to see a lot of stuff that's celebrating Black History Month. Yep. So there are going to be books for adults, teens, juveniles, books that are written in the history of the Black History Month celebration, of the Black experience in America. But then you're also going to get ones that are written from authors from today. Like there was one in a list that Joelle from DCDL wrote that had poetry by Amanda Gorman. And if you remember Amanda Gorman, she wrote that beautiful poem at President Biden's inauguration.
And listening to her read it, I still remember that was wonderful.
And it really just catapulted. I remember going on social media and everybody asked, who is this woman? You know, she was just phenomenal. So it's got, modern day voices too. But today I found a really cool list that one of our staff members, Caleb, created. Caleb is going to be someone who you'll be seeing at the New Liberty branch when you start coming to it in late March, early April. And his is a topic guide on the Great Lakes.
Oh.
Yeah. So you wouldn't think
Oh
that
my
there
gosh,
would be
but
that
I bet
much
it's
literature.
good.
Yeah. You wouldn't think there would be that much literature about the Great Lakes, but there certainly is. And it is fascinating, all of it. He says, he describes it as, Lake Erie, one of Ohio's overlooked treasures, is just one of 5 of the Great Lakes connecting North America to its eastern and southern coasts. It dates back more than 10,000 years to the last ice age, glaciers, and it's a hub of human habitation and activity ever since. It's had more than 100 indigenous nations have lived around the Great Lakes since the Great Lakes were formed. So it has massive amounts of history there. And then it's, been explored for highways for exploration, commerce, warfare, and just, it's a giant part. And it's our neighbor in Ohio, right there to the north.
Right there.
And then if you don't want to go to Lake Erie, you just go a little bit west and you've got all the other ones.
You can hit all of them.
Right. So it's not hard at all. Some fun books that he has in this. One is Shipwrecks of the Great Lakes. It was written in 2021 by Anna Lardenois. And it's Tragedies and Legacies from the Inland Seas. It talks about, of course, the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Which you can pair a beer with if you really want to do that.
Yeah. That's Cleveland Brewing Company.
Yes.
Who puts that together. Very yummy there.
So good.
And, or is it CBC Columbus?
No. It's been around. Great Lakes. It's Great Lakes Brewing. It's been
Company.
around for a while.
Yeah. So 1975, Edmund Fitzgerald went down on Lake Superior, took down a crew of 29. But at that time, the guess is that Lake Superior had already, taken the lives of 33,000 sailors.
Yes.
I mean, it's a massive
Stories
amount
that need told.
of people who have passed away on the Great Lakes. It says, according to this book, more shipwrecks have taken place on the Great Lakes than the Bermuda Triangle.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the Bermuda Triangle.
With more ships sinking than the Bermuda Triangle, the Great Lakes have a vast assortment of shipwrecks. Yeah.
There's so much history there.
Yeah, you probably don't want to swim around Lake Superior, especially a lot, because there's gonna be bodies in there. You don't want to swim around Lake Superior. Yep. There's a lot of stuff happening there. There's another Ships and Shipwrecks, Stories from the Great Lakes by Richard Gebhardt, again published in 2021. What else is beautiful on the Great Lakes? Of course, with all the commerce and wayfaring coming through, lighthouses.
I love lighthouses.
So, your guide to the region's historic lighthouses. This was written in 2010 by
A lot of
Todd
those are
Berger.
haunted.
Oh, well, of course, with all of the shipwrecks and things like that.
There's so many haunted lighthouses.
Yeah, you should.
If you're just tuning in to me for the first time, I love anything haunted.
We love a little ghost tour here. Yeah. So many of them are still standing. Few are still operational. But this book is going to tell you about some of the lighthouses. There's going to be talk about one of the greatest victories of the War of 1812 that happened on Lake Erie, which is, of course, Perry. And so that was the one that happened there on Lake Erie. There is also an ebook. This one is like if you want some travel ideas that are coming up for this year, you're going to want to go ahead and request this ebook. You're going to have just a short amount of wait. There are 6 holds on 3 copies that we have available right now. But it was published this year, so it is a very new travel guide, which is the best one to get. Great Lakes and Midwest USA's national parks.
Love it.
This is just going to be your guidebook that you're going to check out to go and visit the Great Lakes.
National Parkies. And yes, I just made that word up. I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah.
But it is now. National Parkies. You go out there and you go explore that and come back and let us know.
Yeah. Tell us about, how the library book helped you with your vacation.
I would love it. If you use a library book and it does, you just absolutely love something you learned from it, knitting pattern, cooking, traveling, let us know. We would love to hear how you used our books.
Yeah, another plug for our social media. We put up a picture this past week of a patron named Benjamin.
Oh, this is the best.
He had used the Powell Branch Library for studying for his nursing exam for many, many years. And because, life happens and you don't just become a nurse overnight.
No, it's hard work.
Yeah. And so he used the Powell Branch Library coming in all the time. And he finally came in to tell us that he had passed his exam. He is going to be a nurse. And he took his opportunity to thank every single member of the Powell Branch Library for just helping him on that journey. So
this is why we do it.
Head over to our social media, see that picture of Benjamin with some of our Powell Branch staff members. And it's a lot of fun. So
And if you're not watching, which I'm not sure you are today, but I am grinning ear to ear. That is just exactly what I love to hear.
It's the perfect story. So we are going to take a short break. On the other half, we're going to come back with Traci Whittaker from the Delaware Public Health District to talk about a breastfeeding class for new mothers.
I'm very excited here.
Welcome back. It's chaos in here. We're having conversations. Other radio stations are coming through. Gage, you're awesome.
I'm trying.
Does anyone ever tell you that? Because I feel like you need
Oh,
to be
yeah.
good.
Well, maybe, but.
Your birds do, and your raccoons that you feed at night.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Oh, matter of fact, one was climbing on it last night, and it really made me mad because it emptied the entire thing.
Raccoons are
Rude.
They're hungry.
They're little garbage pandas, little trash
Trash
pandas.
pandas, yeah.
I know they're so cute to look at, and then you're like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Trash pandas. I love it.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, you are listening to Off the Shelf, Delaware County District Library's premier radio show. Again, we're always so happy for our sponsors. We have Helpline of Delaware Morrow County, and we also have Beanbag Books.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful sponsors. Of course, we have Molly Meyers LaBadie, our deputy director here, Gage on the board. But more importantly, we have a guest on the phone with us today, Miss Traci Whittaker, the Public Information Officer for the Delaware Public Health District. Good morning, Traci.
Good morning. Hello. Thanks for having me.
We're so happy to have you to talk about a class that we have coming up at the library. We're doing 3 of them this spring, March 2nd, April 11th, and May 8th. And it is a breastfeeding class.
Yes.
Plain and simple. We're partnering with the Delaware Public Health District, but it's even a cooler partnership than that because it's run by a WIC peer helper. Can you tell us a little bit about the class and about the helper who's going to be leading it?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So maybe for folks that maybe they don't know what WIC stands for, it's our Women, Infants, and Children program, and we provide a various amount of nutrition education, including breastfeeding help, and it's also a supplemental food program where income eligible pregnant mothers, postpartum mothers, brand new mothers, infants, and children up to the age of 5 can receive just some nutritional foods that may benefit them in the long run. So, but our WIC peer helper, which is really cool, she is Sarah Bayless is her name, and she was hired because she is exactly what that is. She is a peer, and she is a helper. So she knows exactly firsthand what many of our mothers may be going through on their breastfeeding journey. She's been there. She's going through it. She knows how to lend assistance and knows how to, just be a peer and understand what you're going through and how to teach you and any kind of obstacles you're going through. She's there to work those through with you and just help you in any kind of area you need on your breastfeeding journey.
Yeah, and so we can explain that it's a little bit different than what you would get with a lactation consultant. There are those that exist at hospitals and maybe doctors' offices, but this is
and we have those too as well. As
wonderful.
We do. Yeah, we do. We have it all.
Well, that's really great to know. So you have lactation consultants, you have the WIC peer helpers. And it's good to know what WIC does. You mentioned that there is an income component for some of the services that WIC provides, but this class in particular does not have any income component to it. Anyone can come to this.
Absolutely. Anyone. Absolutely.
Right. So these classes are going to be held at the Delaware Main Library in our community room. Sarah is going to be there, and she's going to help you meet some of your goals for feeding your baby. And let's just talk about that for a second, because my goals are going to be different from some other moms' goals, and that's okay.
And new moms may not know much. As someone who, I watched my sisters go through it, I can't say I went through it. I had this picture in my head that it was just something every woman knew how to do, and I really learned through my sisters, who I have a great relationship with, like how challenging it can be.
So Sarah's going to help them kind of realize what expectations they maybe can push away.
Yes. Yeah.
and
pressures.
And what they can embrace.
Yeah, I love that word pressure, because a lot of folks don't understand. A lot of new mothers, they're under so much pressure.
Massive.
They want the best for their baby.
Yeah.
And maybe they can't, fully breastfeed. Maybe they have to pump instead, because that's more up their alley, or that's what gets them to their goal. But Sarah she's wonderful at helping. It's not just one way. Let's get you to that goal, and in many different ways that she can help you. So this class, and it is not just for WIC mothers; it is for everyone, Nicole, like you said. So yeah, anyone that's struggling and think they can, maybe benefit from this class, I would fully recommend.
So
absolutely going. I wish I would have had something like that.
Yeah.
Back in the day. My baby is almost 13 years old,
Oh.
but I would have loved to have that resource, because am I failing at this? Is this normal? Is this common? So those struggles you're going through, she will help you through those.
I mean, I'm sure that so many mothers can relate who, have had that memory of sitting in the chair or the couch or whatever, wherever you sat, and just crying, whether it's pain or frustration or
or going back to work.
So many tears. Yes. And so this is nice. Who would be a good the people who come to this class? Can they bring a support system? Can they bring their baby?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because I think that support system is extremely crucial too when you're trying to, like I said, get to this goal of whatever that goal is. That's your helper, to get to that end goal of helping your baby get the best benefits they can get.
I found that my partner, just kind of like knowing what I was going through, like he came with me to the lactation specialist, and he listened when the nurses explained all the things, and he very kindly and very gently and in the right way was like, I feel like I remember the nurse saying this, and I was like, oh, thank you for that gentle reminder. He was always just like, sometimes you just have to inception the ideas. Like, do you remember? I think I recall that maybe someone said something like this, if you were willing to try that. Exactly. Well, we have a couple minutes left, Traci. Is there anything else happening with the Delaware Public Health District? I was sharing yesterday that when we were texting that we both have our building woes happening. How's your building coming?
So it is coming along. We've actually, yes. I feel like it has been a long process to.
I feel you so much right now.
Yes. So, we started the process and then COVID hit.
Yes.
We're the local health department. So
you were a
in
little
response
slammed.
mode. Yeah, a little busy. But not only that, COVID set back a lot of things people didn't think about, with supply chain and everything like that. So we were, it felt like, I don't know, for weeks we were without roof clips. Who knew roof clips were so important? They are very important.
They are.
To keep a roof, obviously, together. So we, it's just little things like that just delayed. A crane was broke down for a little while, so there was a delay. So. But
you're like us, your workers also got COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
And so work stopped when everybody got COVID.
Yep. It was, I don't, we're kind of through that process, through that, that gate now. So we're focused on, getting into that new building. We're really excited because it's going to be a great place for the community to come as well. Lots of parking, so we're excited about that.
And you're located on South Sandusky. Just
we are.
If you go down South Sandusky and you kind of pass the cemetery, and what other landmarks can folks look for? If you go to Delaware Christian School, you've gone too far.
You've gone too far. Yeah. So we're right beside the nursing home. We're neighbors with them. So our exact address is 470 South Sandusky Street.
We can't wait to see you there.
Can't wait.
It's going to be really wonderful for you. And you were saying that there's just so many acres on site. There's so much more that you can do when you get there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of, future dreams for the property as well for our community. We're going to be, part of that community over there. We're going to have a lot of neighbors and stuff, so we want to treat them well as everyone that's coming to use our facility. So we're really excited about it. We just want to get in there.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
We know. All right, Traci. Well, thank you for joining us, Traci, from the Delaware Public Health District, talking about the upcoming breastfeeding classes. The very first one is this Thursday, March 2nd at 5:30 at the main library. And I misspoke earlier. The one in April is at Ostrander, and the one in May is at Orange. So if you don't want to travel, you can wait a month or two and see us at Ostrander and Orange Branch. So thank you for joining us, Traci.
Absolutely. You guys have a great day.
Thanks.
You too.
All right, and that's pretty much what's coming up at the library. We do have our rescheduled Tween Art Explorers taking place on Monday at 2:30.
You know, those spots are going quickly, though.
Yes.
So if you're listening to us right now, I wouldn't wait too long to get registered.
Go ahead and RSVP. All right, and other than that, we are going to let the city folk come in, and we're going to go back to shelving 44,000 books.
Oh, yeah. My arms are ready for it today, I think.
All right, until next week, we will see you in the stacks.